Hey guys, it's SoFlo Josh, and I'm over here at BMW of South Miami to review this 2025 BMW M440i for y'all. With that being said, let's go ahead and get to the exterior and let's check out this LCI of the 4 Series. Now I want to give a huge shout out to BMW of South Miami for allowing me to review this vehicle. If you guys are interested in purchasing a vehicle, make sure to ask for Daniel Gil. He'll be able to assist you. Now, this is the LCI of the current 4 Series generation. Now, LCI in the past used to mean a drastic change within the front design, the headlights, the tail lights, as well as the interior. Now it's more so focused on tech. So the interior gets the exact same 12.3-inch touchscreen display with the digital gauge cluster, but they've done some little enhancements to it, especially now that it's included with the iDrive 8.5. But exterior wise, let's go ahead and talk about the enhancements that they've done for the exterior. Now, starting up here in the front, as you can see, we have a new headlight design compared to that of the pre-facelift one. Now this one kind of looks like snake fangs. I'm gonna consider this as the snake fang design over here, which looks pretty good compared to the previous facelift one, but I actually prefer the last one compared to this. I think that these snake fangs don't really work so much on a sedan slash coupe styling. I think it looks better on the SUVs like the X5, the X6, and the X3 that just got this exact same headlight styling. But nonetheless, it is an improvement for lights. We do have full LED headlights for the projector light, the high beam, and the DRLs. In fact, whenever you are turning on the turn signals, the fangs actually go ahead and turn into the amber style DRLs, but you still have, as you can see, the full LED styling for the headlights. You also do have your cornering lights right there, so whenever you are approaching a corner and you turn your wheel, that light will turn on, so then it can give you a lot of visibility around those corners. Make sure you don't hear any of those rabbits. Now up here in the front, for the M440i, we actually have a little bit of a different, oh, that's a frog right there. We have a little bit of a different style for the grille design. Now it's those vertical slats that we saw first on the BMW XM. Now the BMW XM has it, then the X6M has it. Same thing for the X5M competition, and now the X3 M50 actually has these exact same style slats over here at the front. So very interesting design language that BMW is going for the M performance vehicles, as well as the full-on fledged M vehicles with those vertical style designs. I actually quite like this compared to that of the pre-facelift one, where it's like those diamonds. I think that just this looks more sportier compared to that. And the other one looked a little bit more of like a luxury sport design. I don't know if you guys understand what I mean, but the styling wise up front has barely changed. It's only been the grille and the headlights, and so that's why it's super light cosmetic enhancements this time compared to that of the previous generations. Now over here to the side, we do get new rims that we can choose from. Now these are the 19-inch full-on black design styles we have here, which looks really nice, and the whole entire Shadowline package. This does come with the Shadowline package extended, so that means you're gonna get your side mirrors completely covered in black, your front grille, the rear, and diffuser, and so on and so forth, which is really nice. Now I actually kind of like the fact that whoever spec'd this vehicle did not choose the red brake calipers. I like the blue. The blue kind of gives it that same exact blue that we see on the BMW Rondell, and I think it's very tasteful, very nice design. Over here off to the side, the M440i also does include the M4 style side mirror caps over here, and then you have your full-on LED side indicators right here as well. You have a little bit of a different side sill design for the M440i, and then of course, since this is a full-on, you know, black sapphire, you can't see, but the shadow line right here around the windowsill would be blacked out, which would look really better on different colors, but nonetheless I completely understand. Now the big improvement as well is that we see the full-on BMW laser tail lights that we saw first on the M4 CSL, the pre-facelift one. So now we can get them on the M440i. You can get them on the 430i, but you have to get the M Sport package, plus you have to get the Shadowline extended package in order to get these laser tail lights at the rear. And I think they look very, very nice. Kind of gives it like a nice neon effect. I don't know if you could see it really good on the camera, but it has like these pixelation in it, and it looks very, very cool, almost retro style 1980s vibes that I get from it. It looks really nice. We do have LED turn signals right here, and you do have full-on LED reverse lights right there as well. As you can see, they're not like how they have it in Europe where it's an amber style. It's red over here in the States, unfortunately. Over here at the back, as you see, you still have your dual outlet exhaust for that amazing B58 inline 6 that we have underneath the hood. Talk more about that in a little bit. You do have that rear diffuser. That's also a little enhancement they've done, I've noticed, from the pre-LCI version, and I actually kind of quite like it. Now, do I think it's going to be like completely functional like what something you would find in an M4? No, but it's very, very nice. We do get the blacked out rear spoiler right here, M440i badge right here as well, and it just looks absolutely amazing. You got your rear camera right there as well inside of the BMW Rondell. Opening up here, as you can see, this isn't a power tailgate right here or liftgate, but you do have ample amount of space. As you can see, a lot of height into this trunk area, which is really good for anybody who's trying to fit maybe golf clubs or maybe something from, for example, Costco. You're trying to get those paper towels, those large paper towels. You could actually fit it in here. You do have rear seat release points right here in the back, which is good, and you do have a hook right here so you can put your grocery bags, more storage off to the side on either side with a large cubby right there. And then I believe you actually, you can actually open this. That's the one unfortunate thing about the 3 Series and the 4 Series. You can't open that. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and continue talking about the overall design enhancements. So getting over here to the interior, as you can see, we have the nice cognac style finish for the interior. Nice soft padding on the top of the door panel, and as well as the bottom with this faux stitching that we have over here. I like that we still have that grab handle for the LCI. You do have memory seating for your power seats over here, window switch gear as well as your mirror switch gear, door lock and unlock, and then you have your door handle over here. Some little pocket area to put stuff in, and you do have a water bottle section right there with your trunk release as well. A badging right here in the door sill, which I believe comes standard with the M440i for the 2025. Now let's go ahead and get into the back seat. And I know some of you are wondering, how is it going to be possible that a guy that's 6 foot tall can fit in the back seat? So as you can see, this is a power seat, so that means once you press this button up and you fold it forward, the seat automatically pushes forward, so you have easier accessibility into the rear seats. Now let's go ahead and get into the rear seats, and as you can see, straightforward, very, very simple, and actually kind of like fall into the seat, which is really nice. Now putting this right here, as you can see, it will retract itself, and at the point where it feels like it's gonna touch, it will stop itself, which is really nice. Now 6 foot tall, headroom size, I don't have a lot. I mean, this is a coupe. It has a swoopy roof design, but nonetheless pretty good. And you know what, I have to say, this rear quarter window that we have here is really large, so it doesn't feel very claustrophobic back here, which is a huge thing, because I do have claustrophobia, and being in this tight space like this, having this large window open up over here is very great. We do have hooks over here off to the side, so you could put your your suit or your shirt or anything else. But as I said, sitting back here now, I have the seat lowered all the way to its full potential to the very bottom, and as you can see, I do have some space for my feet to go underneath, and they're not being crushed, which is really good for somebody who's wearing big shoes like this as well. A lot of feet space right here, so I have roughly, I want to say 0.4 inches of legroom space, which isn't too bad. Headroom space basically none. You know, I have to like really, there we go, shimmy down. Then when I shimmy down, I actually have more headroom space. I have probably 1.5 of headroom space. But good thing we have here is rear vents for the rear occupants, which is a good thing that BMW includes that. Unfortunately, no charging outlets. I don't like that. I wish that we did. You have a speaker system back here, and you do actually have a little section right here to put some snacks in. So if the kids are sitting back here, they have some snacks. Now, this is only a 4-seater, so that means that nobody can actually sit in the middle section, because this is exactly where the drive line goes through, and that's why there's a large hump right here. Dropping over here, you do have your cup holders. It takes a while sometimes when they're brand new BMWs and they just come for the factory. They do take a while. And I was mentioning the rear seats do fold down, and you do have this rear section right here, the ski through tunnel right there as well. So if you need to put anything into the cabin, you have it right there. Lights up here in the top. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and get into the front seat section. So as you can see, it is power operated once again. And then getting out, it's a little tricky. I do have to put my hand down here and then put my hand over here in order to get out of this vehicle, but still easy to do. If you're younger, it makes more sense. If you're older, I would not recommend sitting back there. Let's go ahead and get into the interior of this 4 Series, and I'm going to show you really quick exactly what I mean that we're finally getting this we're getting a completely like different interior design a little bit. Now, the enhancement they've done is primarily the steering wheel. Now, one huge gripe I always had with the 3 Series as well as the 4 Series, or even the 2 Series, is that getting in and out of here with the sporty style, you know, steering wheel, it was round all around. Okay, now it's round, but then it's flat bottom here, so getting in and out of here is so much better. Like, look at this, barely even touch that bottom of the steering wheel. I would always hit my knee. I would have to like kind of like, you know, move it in such a way where I would not hit the bottom of the steering wheel, and that was such a pain in the butt. So finally, BMW has listened to its fans. They come out with a flat bottom steering wheel. Very nice design. I like these little cutouts that we have here as well. It's wrapped around here as well. As you can see, it's not aluminum, it is plastic styling. I'm sure that if you were to get something like the 7 Series with this exact same steering wheel that you can get on that one, it would actually have the aluminum finish all around, but nonetheless looks really good. In the insert section, you do have gloss black in the middle. You do have, for the M performance model, you do have that 12 o'clock right here, which you would find as well on the full-fledged M4. Paddle shifters up here in the back. You have your cruise control, and you have your infotainment controls right here. I like the stitching that we see all across here, which is something we've been seeing in a lot of the M Sport / M Performance style steering wheels, with that nice M logo coloring all around. Now, this one does come with the carbon fiber trim, and as you can see, they have changed the ventilation section right here and the vent sections as well off to the left and the right. Now, the reason why they did it is because this section right here is actually illuminated. So yes, there is air flowing through here, but there's also air flowing through here, and there's a little vent section that actually flows underneath here. Now, do I think this is a great idea? I don't think so. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the original vent, where it was able to kind of like move, and you can kind of like tilt it towards you better and know exactly, you can just do it in like a few minor things. It took me 15 times to actually angle it in the correct way to hit my face, which is crazy. I don't think that should be a thing. You know, this is one thing I say that I do not like about the new LCI. It's just this enhancement of putting the vents here. I don't like it. I mean, they're a pain in the butt, you know, to direct it in the right direction. Of course, after a little bit, it actually, you know, you can figure it out, but it's a pain in the butt, and I don't think it's really you know, user-friendly. I think that the old style was user-friendly. Heck, when I did the X5M competition review, One of the biggest complaints that I had was the vents, how they had it, and it was barely blowing any air towards the occupants. Over here, as you can see, you do still have, you know, some of the hotkeys for your forward, back track. Right there, you have your max AC button, but all of your AC controls, everything else is actually embedded into this 8.5 inch, not 8.5 inch, but iDrive 8.5. Now, over here, when you click the button, you can actually see the whole entire layout style you have here. We do have a ton of, you know, apps that you can choose from, and then over here you do have the maps. Now this does come with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is great. As you can see, it's very snappy. The 8.5 has actually improved over the iDrive 8, which I'm very happy to hear. Back here, you do have your full-on digital gauge cluster that is catered towards the M Performance version, so you're gonna have those nice M style finish gauges right here. Putting into sport mode actually kind of changes a little bit. It changes the coloring in it, adds a little bit more of a red to it. Putting it in comfort will, you know, of course, put it into blue, and then putting it into Eco Pro will actually open up the way that they have your RPMs and your miles per hour. So it's very, very interesting. Getting over here to the bottom, same carbon fiber design over here as well. You do have that little snubby kind of shifter, which was included, I believe, within the facelift. I don't think the pre-facelift had it, if I'm not mistaken. You do have your park button right here, as you can see. Sport, Comfort, Eco Pro, Auto Hold, Emergency Parking, your start button, engine start stop right there. Let's go ahead and shut that off. You have your parking sensors and you have your traction control. This is the wheel that controls the iDrive system right over here, so really good to see. But I do like the cognac, the two-tone effect that we're getting over here with the cognac seats. Very nice design, very plush styling of the seats. Now, interesting enough, you could option in with these seats ventilated seats for the first time in a 4 Series, which is really good to hear. Really happy that BMW has incorporated that as an option. You also do have soft padding over here, which is really nice because, you know, as somebody who drives a little spiritedly, you do hit your knee on this section right here, but nonetheless, really nice. Visibility outside, you could see very good, very, very good visibility outside. You know, I have good visibility all around. We do have a, you know, power sunroof over here, so once you open it like that, it does slide back. And then we're gonna go ahead and press it one more time. Oh, you actually cannot. Oh, they must have changed that. Interesting. So you can actually put it more back than it used to be. This is a power retractable shade right here, so just keep that in mind. I'm actually gonna keep it open to add more lighting into the cabin. But let's go ahead and get out to the exterior and let's check out what's underneath the hood. Now, this is the M440i, so the M440i only comes with one engine, and that is the tried and true B58 turbocharged 6-cylinder. Now, this model that we have with the LCI actually got an enhancement, and that enhancement is the 48-volt mile hybrid system. So now, instead of making 382 horsepower, this makes 386 horsepower, and the torque went up to 398 pound-feet of torque. Now, that's all sent through an 8-speed automatic transmission that is built by ZF. And of course, depending on the way that you configure a vehicle, you could get rear-wheel drive only, or you can get all-wheel drive, which is really good. Just want to give you guys one more look of the exterior before we take it on a full drive. And I have to say, I do like some of the enhancement they've done, especially with these headlights and the rims over here, and as well as the grille. So let's go ahead and take out this bad boy on the road and see how it actually drives. So now that we're back down here in the main level, before we go, I wanted to actually touch on a point. You do have wireless charging right there, which is really nice to see. 12-volt socket right there, USB, and then you have a USB Type-C with more storage, and you do have line with felt and dampened glove compartment right there. Really nice to see. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and put this car in drive. Putting it in drive is very straightforward. You put it into D, and we're off on the road. Now, this is the M440i that I was talking about. You could get a 430i, which will give you the B48 inline 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. Now this one is the inline 6 B58 engine. And now I will say this, even though yes, the other one is a 4-cylinder, surprisingly that car is very reliable as well. You know, usually 4-cylinders aren't the most like reliable vehicles, and I will state that that is a very reliable. The B40A is very reliable. It's a great car, and let's go ahead and take it out to South Dixie. But yeah, this vehicle and this engine is just a fantastic combination. You know, very straightforward, feels good, low end torque. That new 48 volt underneath the hood is fantastic. So now we have more torque and we have more power compared to the pre-LCI version. So putting it into sport, as you can see, it livens it up a little bit. Oh, and it feels so good. You can actually hear it still has burble exhaust from the factory. They did not silence it, which is a great thing to see. Let's go ahead and throw it. Oh yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. Let's go ahead. Wow, fantastic amount of torque coming from the inline 6 turbocharged engine, and it hooks really good around these curves. Now it is the rear-wheel drive version, it is not the all-wheel drive version, but it feels fantastic around these curves, and it just hugs it really nice. You know, BMW still knows how to make a fantastic performance vehicle with the level of comfortability. Suspension does feel a little bit different from the pre-LCI. Now I have driven the pre-LCI before, and suspension felt very rough. It was not refined. It just felt very weird, especially compared to that of the M340i. The M340i was softer. This kind of matches what the M340i was when it comes to the suspension level, which is a good thing, because if I'm gonna buy an M performance vehicle, I don't want it too firm like, you know, the M4 competition or the M3 competition. No, this is fantastic. This is all I need when it comes to the level of comfortability and performance. We're gonna still keep it into, you know, sport trim. Let's actually throw it down into S for the transmission, so we'll be able to see exactly. Oh my god, that exhaust, you can actually feel it underneath your seat as you downshift. That never gets old. That never gets old. I've driven countless, you know, BMWs with the inline 6 engine, and you can actually hear the blow-up valve. Wow, that's fantastic. I have a huge smile on my face, actually. Let's go ahead and put it into, let's drive it back over here down these roads. It's very nice. The transmission actually holds it really good, and you can actually get it all the way to the rev limiter, but it won't bounce, which is a safety thing that they've done for a lot of vehicles. I think the only car that actually still does the rev bounce is, you know, Lexus with their, you know, the Lexus with the V8. Jesus Christ, this feels good. All right, so how do I feel thus far? Really good. I think the enhancements of adding that 48 volt mild hybrid underneath the hood with the inline 6 is actually really good. It mitigates that low end, you know, turbo lag that we see. And to begin with, the turbo lag is non-existent for, you know, such a vehicle like this. You know, they've actually improved so much within the turbocharger. BMW just knows how to make performance engines. How do I feel thus far? Really good. We're actually going to take it up to the 3rd story, and we're going to actually conclude this whole entire video. But with that being said, let's go ahead and go back up to the 3rd story. So now we're back up here on the 2nd floor, and let's go ahead and turn out the vehicle and give you guys my final impressions. Now, so the LCI, I think the biggest improvement of the LCI over the pre-LCI version is actually the engine. with the 48 volt mild hybrid. I think that was a great improvement. That's been in, you know, the X5 for quite some time. The X3 actually just got it with this newest generation, the G45, and I think this is a fantastic vehicle now. I think it's actually better than the pre-LCI. The power's there, it feels great around the corner. The suspension enhancement they've done for this model compared to that, the, you know, pre-facelift one, is actually a lot better. It's not super, you know, harsh. It's actually nice and soft and dampened whenever you're driving it. I still love these laser tail lights at the rear. It's unfortunate that they got rid of the laser headlights for the full-on LED ones, but the majority of buyers, believe it or not, were actually opting in for full LED ones than the laser headlights. The laser headlights are just way too expensive for, you know, the average buyer who was buying a car. They didn't really care too much about it. It was just kind of like one of those things where like, oh, okay, we'll, you know, buy it just for aesthetics. But I think it's done a fantastic job. BMW's done a fantastic job with the engine, the suspension enhancements. The gripe that I have, more so or less, is actually the vents that we have in here. Not super huge on them. I don't like what they did with it. This flat bottom steering wheel is the biggest highlight for me in the interior. I don't like this little knobby thing here for the shifter. I would do away with that. If there's a way that you can kind of convert this over to the pre-LCI one, go for it. I mean, buy one of these and then change that out. Let me actually turn it on really quick, and I'm gonna put it into sport mode, and I want you guys to hear it. Oh, okay. It sounds really, really good. It sounds magnificent. Yeah, this is just a great LCI. I think BMW knocked it out of the park, and this is probably gonna be maybe the last 4 series, you know, with the rumors going around that the 4 and the 8 series are going to combine into one called the 6 series. You know, you're probably going to be looking at the last generation of the 4 series. But with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe onto the channel, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.